Okay, let's try on here. Okay, testing, testing. I think we are live. We are live. Are we live? Testing, testing, testing. Okay, testing. Perfect. We are live. Okay, so in this live streaming, we are gonna try to run Windows applications on Wine, but using Toolbox. Toolbox, as we did in the previous live streaming, if you remember, and you can check the previous streaming, we try to install Fedora Silverblue, but also we try the Toolbox. It's a tool that allows us to run containers, and in that containers you can run Y applications. So yeah, that's the good thing. So you don't need to install any application on your host machine. That's really good, and you can have everything isolated. So yeah, in this case, we are gonna try to run Wine apps on Toolbox inside. So I don't know why this show up different. Is frozen or what? Okay, let me try something. I think it's frozen for some reason. Let me try. Why is frozen? That's the thing about OBS. Yeah, that's the thing about OBS. Let me check the streaming. Yes, it's all the time the genome software. So it's frozen. Let me restart it. Can I restart it? Let me try. Properties, select monitor, will display share. Did I fix it? I think I fixed it. I fixed it. Let me try here. Yeah, it's fixed. Okay, perfect. Because I didn't want to restart the live streaming. Yeah, that could be painful. Okay, so let's try to check Toolbox. So for example, the last time we created a toolbox as an example, and what we did previous live streaming was to install apps and add in the desktop link to the host machine. So that was really cool. So you can check the previous live streaming. In this case, let's check the list, toolbox list. This will be like a short live streaming. I don't want to extend too much. So here we created a container name, Fedora Toolbox 35. Let's remove Toolbox rm Fedora. So we are gonna create again an empty Toolbox container based on Fedora 35. Let's clear Toolbox create. We are not gonna create the toolbox with any name, just the basic one, the primary container. If you want to add different containers, you can add a name. So in this case, I won't do that, just like that. And it's going to create a container based on Fedora 35. The image that we downloaded previous live streaming. So in order to enter the toolbox, the container, enter. Perfect. Okay, so we are inside. If you want to know when you are inside, you have the prompt with this purple circle here, and also the toolbox is identified as a toolbox as a host name, the user Fedora. So you can see well, the user is the same as the host, sorry. but the toolbox is identified as a toolbox. You can see the difference between the hostnet, the host machine, in this case is a virtual machine, okay, and toolbox is identified like that. Yeah, so we are gonna install Wine, and let's check updates first. It's gonna take a while, but I prefer to do that first. I don't want to have like a partial update. Technically it's not a problem, but just in case. Yeah, so as I said, we are gonna run Windows applications on Wine by using Toolbox. We are gonna install Wine inside Toolbox. Then we are gonna test an app. I downloaded an open source. I think it's open source. Rufus, for example, is very popular. Rufus and Geonotic is a video game. It's also open source. Yeah, you can run the Geonotic game on Linux, of course, but it also has the X file. So we are gonna try the X file. I'm not gonna show you a proprietary software or games or something like that in this video as an example. Yeah, but I think with those two cases, it's yeah, it's necessary. It's enough, I think. Yeah. I don't think I will be able to run the game inside. I'm not sure because this is a virtual machine, but we can try. Yeah. Okay, this keep updating. Okay, I think it's almost done. Yeah, as I said, this is really good because if you are using an immutable system like Fedora Silverblue, you can have all the mess from Wine or any kind of program that has many libraries inside of a toolbox instead of the host machine. Yeah. Okay, let's hope this is not gonna take too long. Yeah. We can also try to add the um, desktop desktop link to the host machine if you are interested. But yeah, yeah, I think I can do that. It's by creating a custom desktop script because I don't think I will be able to copy the one from the Wine program. I don't know, but I can try. Yeah. Can I? Okay, perfect. So let's install Wine by sudo dnf install Wine. I think it's just like that is enough. Yeah, perfect. Wow. I hope this is not gonna take too long. How much? 700 megabytes. Okay. Okay, I think this is fast. But yeah, that's the good thing about Toolbox. You can see is installing many dependencies. So that's why it's so good having a toolbox. It doesn't matter if you have Fedora Silverblue, Fedora Workstation, or any kind of distribution. Toolbox is available on most of the distributions. I think it's available on our Linux, also Ubuntu, if I'm not mistaken, but it's an older version. But yeah, you can have it. Yeah. So for example, there is no Wine available on FlatHub, but there is an app called Bottles. Bottles is like an app similar to Lutris, yeah, and it's allowed you to have different environments, Wine versions, etc., to be able to run any kind of app or game. The problem is that it's isolated that much that For example, I try to run an app from my home directory, and it's kind of problematic because it's sandbox applications requires to allow permissions in case you want to run a game from a specific directory. So it's kind of messy, to be honest, but I know that it's safer, of course. But yeah, in case if you don't want to use bottles, you can use this method, Toolbox with wine. Yeah, why not? For me, it's the best method. Um, I never was like successful with bottles. No, yeah, that's the thing. Okay, at least it's installing now, so that's not gonna take too long. You can see all the dependencies is installing right now, so you can imagine all the mess it's gonna create in your on your host machine. That's the good thing about this kind of immutable system like Fedora Silverblue. Yeah. So if you make a mistake, if you create a mess inside the toolbox, you can just destroy the container and create a new one. And it's not going to affect the host machine. That's the good thing. And you can execute games, apps, uh, any kind of thing. Yeah. In the previous live streaming, we ran Steam, and it was successful. Yeah. Obviously, you can use Steam from FlatHub, but I see Toolbox as an option when you don't have the program that you want is not available on FlatHub. Then you can try Toolbox. So, for example, in this case, we want to install Wine. So a good thing about Toolbox is that it has the repositories from Fedora workstation, basically. Yeah, and we can install Wine. Another good thing is that we can add the RPM Fusion repositories, the proprietary and the free and non-free ones, and we can install proprietary software and the codecs, whatever we want. Actually, I didn't add the RPM Fusion, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I don't think we need it right now. Yeah. Okay, it's almost done, I think. Yeah, perfect. Okay, after installing Wine, the first thing we're gonna do is checking the configuration, Wine CFG, and it's gonna install whatever is needed, create the environment. I probably download something else, I don't know. It's creating the environment inside of bar home fedora.wine. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so it's done. Do we have to check anything else? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, it's okay. So for the example, here we are inside of our home. This is the same root as our home from the host system. It's the same one. That's a good thing about Toolbox. It allows you to have access to the home directory. So inside the downloads, sorry. Inside downloads, we have Rufus and Genotic. Yeah. For example, if you want to install Rufus, one Rufus, just like that. the same thing as if it was the host system. That's it. Obviously, you are not gonna use Rufus on Wine on Linux. It doesn't make any sense. Rufus is a Windows app that allows you to create a USB bootable system on Windows exclusively. So this is just a test. I just downloaded Rufus as an example, but if you are on Linux, you don't need to use Rufus, obviously. Yeah. Do you want to allow you to check? No. Okay. So you can see we are running, and that's a good thing. It's identified as a Rufus blah 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 on Toolbox. How cool is that? It's so cool. I like it. So any kind of wine application that you are gonna run on Toolbox is going to be identified like that on Toolbox. How cool is that? I like it. Okay, so this is done. We are gonna test Chonotic. Yeah, why not? For example, for games, I used to create a new folder games like that. And I think Chonotic doesn't require any installation. It's just extract to. Let's go to games. Select. Perfect. If I'm not mistaken, this has like an X file for Windows. Let me move this outside. I think it's much better. Yeah, like that. X here. Obviously, this is a game available for Linux, so you can execute the game on Linux, obviously, but this is just an example. I wanted to download an open source game. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can execute 3D games. This is a virtual machine. Let's test it. Let's go to games, Chonotic. Chonotic, yeah, and let's execute chonotic.exec. Let's try. Yeah, it's working. Perfect. I wasn't sure because this is a virtual machine. Obviously, I'm not gonna play. I don't think that it's gonna work, but at least I can show you. Yeah, at least I can show you. Okay, this is done. You can see you can execute games on Wine on Toolbox, inside Toolbox. That is really cool. So you don't need to worry about creating a mess on your host system with all the dependencies from Wine or any kind of program you want to install. That is really good, really cool. So let's exit. Can I close this? I think it's still running. I just closed the entire genome boxes, I think. Yeah, I killed the genome boxes. Really? Oh gosh. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I press Alt F4 and it closed the entire genome box virtual machine, everything. So I'm not sure if this is still running or what. Let me check in monitor. Yeah. Well, let me show you genome. No, it's completely, it kills the genome boxes. yeah, it's completely, it's gone. um no, virtual KMOD is still on. Okay, but why I cannot open the, okay, perfect. Let's try to restore. I'm not sure if this is still running, but according to them, yeah, it's still running. Okay, perfect. I thought for a moment that I killed. How can I? Okay, no, I cannot. Let me try by using this. Perfect. Yeah, because it's a virtual machine, it's kind of complicated. Yeah, let's kill the process. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's the good thing about Toolbox. You can run applications from Windows, apps from Windows on one or inside Toolbox. That's so cool, and I think it's a good thing about having an immutable system in the future. I believe the feature will be immutable systems. So then you will have like the typical Toolbox, and probably based on the same distribution. For the moment, Toolbox is exclusive of Fedora. So when you install Toolbox on Arch Linux, for example, what you are going to do is basically create a new container based on Fedora. And that is also cool because it allows you to have to execute a Fedora program on Arch Linux. It's kind of weird, but yeah, maybe in the future you can have like an Arch Linux Toolbox container inside, or if you are using Ubuntu, you can have a container based on the same Ubuntu. Yeah, that could be also great, or choosing different versions, and also, yeah, that could be great, having different operating systems to choose. So let's see in the future if that will be available. That could be great. So this is the feature, yeah, Toolbox on in immutable system. And if you want to install a total mess of libraries and dependencies, you can do that inside of Toolbox. How cool is that? Okay, how long have we been on live streaming? Let's check. 22 minutes. Yeah, I think it's enough. I don't know what else to show you, but I think we already execute Rufus as an example, and Shionotic, a video game, as an example, and yeah, that's really cool. It's really cool. So yeah, you can put me in the comments below if you want me to test something new, something different from Toolbox or Fedora Silverblue, or any kind of thing you want me to try. I'm gonna check, yeah, for sure. Okay, so that's it. It was really interesting, because I wasn't sure if this was about to work or what. I wasn't sure about that. Yeah, so that's it. It was a really interesting video. um, share and subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of content and like this live streaming. And yeah, see you next live streaming. Bye.